The third great lesson, the coming of humans. Remember that big long timeline that I showed you yesterday? That was the timeline of life, and we talked about something very special that happened at the very end. We talked about the preparation of the earth for the human being. In the beginning, the earth had to cool, and this took a long time. But finally, the earth did cool, and the land and the water were settling down. However, the seas were too full of salt, and so life came, and by eating and growing and making more of themselves, this took care of the problem. Then life grew more and more abundant. The sea was full of all kinds of things, the kings of life, the trilobites and the sea lilies and the sponges. Plants came first in the sea, and then they came to live on the land. Animals could now also come to live on the land. There was plenty of food for them to eat. The land was soon full of more plants, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals. The sea had different kinds of life, including fish, and even a very large sea mammal, the whale. At last the earth was ready. Only then could the human beings come. A human being just like you, just like me. It was certainly a very long time since the beginning of the cooling of the earth until the human being came. Do you remember that tiny little place that I showed you where the human beings came? That little tiny part reminds us that the human beings have been on earth for only just a very short time of the earth's history. Today, let us think about the human being for a while and talk about why the human being is so special. When the human being came on the earth, he or she was very different from all the animals who came before. What made this human being so different and so special was not just the shape or the size of the human body, but the human mind. From the beginning, the mind of the human being could think just like yours. Your mind is thinking right now. Perhaps you are wondering what I might say next, or you might be thinking of something else. This kind of mind that could think about things was special and belonged only to human beings. Human beings could think and wonder about the wind blowing, the rain, and the stars. Some people made up and told stories about what they were thinking. People still do this today. Another thing that made the human being so different from anything else on earth. A human being could love. You can love. I can love. I can love my mother, my sisters, my brothers, my family, you, all the people in our school. And even more, you and I can love those close to us, but we can also love and care about people that are far away from us. We can wish that all the people on earth had something to eat. In this way, we can love people that we do not even know or cannot see. Therefore, the human being who came on the earth a long time ago had these two special gifts, a mind to think with and the ability to love. We also have these two special gifts. Here is something else to ponder. When the human being came to live on the earth, he or she could do a great many more things than plants or animals could do. Each animal and plant received its own special life. For example, each plant grows to a certain size. Some plants have flowers and some have cones. Each animal eats what is special to its kind. Some birds eat fruit and some eat insects. Some mammals eat grass and some eat meat. However, the human being eats all kinds of things. For breakfast, I had cereal, milk, and a banana. There are many different kinds of things. And not only do people eat all kinds of different things, but they also live in different houses, some in brick and some in wood. And in those houses, there might be glass doors or wooden doors or steel doors or maybe even no doors at all. Just think about all the different kinds of houses that you pass on your way to school. How is it that human beings can live in all different kinds of ways? It is because the human being has another special gift, hands, which he or she can use to make things. In fact, the human being walks on two legs so that the hands can be free to make things. Imagine if this were not so. Think of how difficult it would be if you had to crawl around and hold a pencil, to read a book, dust, or do all the other things that you do every day. So that tiny little area at the end of the timeline where the human beings came shows us the very short amount of time that human beings have been on this earth. It is amazing that in this time, this kind of life with its special gifts of the mind, the love, and the hands that we have done and will do so many things. The story of the human being a long time ago on Earth is very exciting. There is a lot to find out about human beings and what has been happening since the human being came to the Earth. This is the first story that we will have about human beings. There will be more. Another day we will talk about the first human beings who came to the Earth. That was a long, long time ago. However, they were just like you and me. They had a mind, they could love, and they could use their hands.